If you feel like you need lots of money to start building wealth with property, then this video is perfect for you. How to build wealth from nothing. For me, you need to start with a rent-to-rent strategy. Now, a lot of investors, older, experienced, savvy investors might say that this isn't technically investing, but for me, rent-to-rent is the quickest way to build cash flow using property. And the best thing is, it's not even your property. So there's no deposits, there's no stamp duty, there's no solicitor's fees, and you can acquire them within days, not months. The greatest thing about rent-to-rent is it can cash flow anywhere from £300 to £1,500 a month per property. And if you're really, really good at doing it, you want to get direct to landlords. So there's no agents involved, there's no fees, and it's a great relationship that builds over time. And you tend to get a lot more referrals from that landlord. So if you do a great job for them on property number 1, there's a good chance that they own more properties, and therefore you'll get property number 2, 3, 4, and 5. If that looks at £1,000 profit per property, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grand recurring revenue every single month. All you have to do is find more and more of these landlords, get these properties set up quickly, and get them cash flowing. Now, how do we do it? You might be thinking, well, if I rent a property off a landlord, how do I then make money out of a tenant? The key is not really in the tenants. The key is in the strategy that you would use. I call it super rent. So you can either run it as serviced accommodation, or you can run it as a HMO, which stands for House of Multiple Occupancy. So let's cover off serviced accommodation first. Serviced accommodation, as most people know, is Airbnb. This is where you will host to contractors, traveling tourists, whoever it may be. They just need short-term accommodation, and instead of staying in a hotel, they come and stay in your property. So obviously we need to furnish the properties, we need to kit them out, we need to make them feel homely, they need TVs, etc, etc. We cover all the bills. So it's a simple check-in process, and then we clean them, turn the linen afterwards, and they check out. The benefit of doing this is we can charge a nightly rate that is slightly higher than a hotel, because we also offer kitchens, lounges, and just a bit of a different vibe. And it allows them to have their own food in the property, cook their own things rather than having to go down to the hotel bar. There's huge benefits in this, and many people, especially through COVID and post-COVID, are starting to use the self-catered model because they don't want to be in contact with strangers. So it works really, really well. And you can set these up with 1-bed apartments all the way up to 6, 10-bed houses, you name it. You can mix and match whatever you want in your portfolio. On a HMO strategy, typically we're looking for houses 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. And what we would do is we would pay a market rent as a single let. So let's say, for argument's sake, a 4-bed house would rent out for £700-800 maybe £1,000. What we then do is we would then rent each room out as though it was a single tenancy. So we would rent each room out for £500 per room. So 4 bedrooms times 4 equals 2,000. We're paying £1,000 rent. We'll probably have £500 worth of bills. We'll make them £500 profit. Whilst I've still got your attention, if you're enjoying this video content, then there's plenty more where it came from. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe to the channel. And there's links in the description which give you other videos exactly like this one to help you on your property journey. The key to HMO success is getting the bigger properties, because you won't pay that much more rent for a 5 or 6 bed house, but ultimately you get those extra rooms to be able to bill out, another 500 quid, another 500 quid. So in essence, you could turn a 4 bed into a 6 bed and make 3,000 gross revenue a month, and your bills won't be that much different. So that is the quickest way for me to start building cash. And then from that cash, you then buy your own assets. That's exactly what I did. I built the cash using other people's properties. And then when that cash built enough, I then went and invested in my own properties, which then builds your net wealth, your personal net wealth, which is the ultimate goal for most people and the long-term strategy. Now, you want to work hard, but you really want to work smart. I see a lot of people wasting so much time researching, watching free YouTube videos, watching, content, webinars, and never taking any action. Or what they do is the cardinal sin if they do everything themselves, trying to save 20 quid here, 50 quid there. So I say it all the time, but you should not be doing DIY. You should not be setting properties up. You should be leveraging other people's time so that you can focus on the revenue generating tasks within your business. This is the fundamental key that moves you forward and helps you scale at a rapid pace, just like I did. I figured it out after blowing up at 21 properties, trying to do it all myself. And I realized I need help, and the only way I could scale to my ultimate goal of 1,000 properties was if I got a good team around me. If I could do it all over again, I'd go back and get the team from day one. If you invest in good people, they pay for themselves. They're not expensive. And you've got to change your mindset on staff and realize that employees are an investment and they're not an expense. If you change your mindset on that, then you'll change your results in your property game. Finally, you want to build relationships. Building relationships is the key to it all. It's not about the bricks and mortar, it's about the landlords. It's about building relationships with the right people and making sure that time and time again, you're doing a great job for them. You deliver on your promise of what you tell them. So if that's guaranteeing their rent, or it's, make sure that their properties are kept clean and tidy, make sure they've got no hassle, because hassle is probably the biggest key to getting over the line with landlords. Most landlords who are going to be open to allowing rent to happen in their properties are doing it not for the money, but because they're more likely hassled with their current situation. They're either estate agent isn't doing a good enough job for them and they're constantly getting, the maintenance and the tenant hassle passed back onto them, which is what they employed the agent to do, but they're not doing it. Or they're just simply managing the properties themselves and the tenant hassle is becoming too much. The void periods are becoming too much. Maybe they've had a cannabis farm grown in their property. I have seen that. £18,000 was the repair bill for that. The tenant checked out. They were professionals. They ticked all the box. They passed the credit check. They grew a cannabis farm in the property. It cost £18,000 to that landlord to put that property right. Now that's a good chunk of profit for probably the best part of 7 to 10 years from that property ran as a single let. A really dire situation, but this stuff can happen. So work with the landlords and understand why they want to use you as a company, what their problem is, what they're trying to solve. And from that, you will then be able to build a relationship, get more properties, and ultimately scale your business while helping their business. So it's a win-win scenario for everybody. Thanks for watching this video. There's plenty more awesome content where this came from. As I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and continue watching the videos. And if you really want to get ahead of the game, then join my private Facebook group. Just head over to Facebook, 7 Figure Property Empire. Click the link to join and we'll get you on the inside.